You wonder why maybe the Lions weren't that active in free agency in 2025? Look ahead to 2026.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, here we are, everybody. Matt Derry with you. It is a Tuesday edition of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day on a Tuesday, April 8th into Wednesday, April 9th. Thanks for making us your first listen. Thanks for checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. Lions today held their local pro day for college players that are heading into the draft that are local, guys that have played high school here, college here. One of those guys, Dorian Mausi, linebacker from Duke and Auburn, and of course, U of D Jesuit High School, is going to join us later on in the show. We'll talk to Dorian about his experience down in Allen Park earlier today. Locked On Lions today is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $250 in bonus bets when you place your first $5 bet, and if it wins. Just go to FanDuel.com to check all of that out. Follow us on all social media platforms. Thank you to our everydayers that are out there that watch and listen to the podcast daily. We appreciate all of you. Yes, we've got some submissions for call of the day. If you want to be our call of the day, you can go to speakpipe.com/Derry podcast page and submit yours. And we'll play one tomorrow. I got a couple I'm going to go through from today. So appreciate all of you that check us out and want to be on the show. We thank you for that. Always love audience and listener participation. All right, I want to talk a little bit about 2026. I read a great piece in SI.com about the top 20 free agents that are going to hit the market after this season. Kirby Joseph was a top 10 guy. Aiden Hutchinson didn't even make the list because SI.com was like, there's no way the Lions are going to let him hit free agency. We'll get into that coming up momentarily. Also, some safeties making their way into Allen Park for top 30 visits, according to Tom Pelissero. And again, we'll talk to Dorian coming up in a little bit and find out how Lions local pro day went. April 8th, a Tuesday. Got to give a shout out and a special happy birthday to one of our everydayers, our good buddy, Michelle Choice. All right, let's do this. 2026. Everybody was wondering why the Lions, outside of DJ Reed, didn't exactly get real splashy in free agency. And last week at the NFL owners meetings, Brad Holmes made it a point to say, listen, we got some guys we've got to keep. We've got some expensive contracts coming up, and we've got to be smart with how we're going to allocate our money because next year we got some guys that we need to bring back. And right now they're talking to Aiden Hutchinson about an extension. You know they want to keep Kirby Joseph around. 2026 is going to be an interesting offseason for the Lions about a year from now. And I get that. I understand that you've got to be fiscally responsible. You don't want the Lions have always been a draft and develop and re-sign team under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. And that's exactly what they want to be doing going forward. So I saw this piece at SI.com about the top 25 free agents that are going to hit the market after this season. Guys like Brock Purdy are on that list and others. All right. Kyle Hamilton from the Ravens, Aiden Hutchinson not on the list, because at SI, they were like, he's not going to get let go. Rashawn Slater from the Chargers. Really, really some solid names this offseason. Kirby Joseph is on that list. He's top 10. All right. This is a safety that this past year was all pro, led the league for most of the season in interceptions, was the Lions just center fielder and quarterback of that defense for a lot of this season. He was healthy all year, and he had a fantastic year. Kirby Joseph's contract is up after this season. Kirby Joseph will be a free agent come 2026, and he's on a very affordable deal that's paying him just under $2 million this season. But the Lions have a lot of decisions to make about their future on guys next offseason. It's going to be busy. All right, let's say DJ Reader has a really good year this year. Did he have a really good year last year? No. But he's on the hook for $11 million this season. Is that somebody you consider bringing back if he plays well? He's on a one-year deal, basically. We told you about Aiden Hutchinson. Look, the Lions are going to get a long-term deal done with Hutch. That's going to happen. There's no way he's going anywhere. He's the face of the franchise outside of Dan Campbell. Alex Anzalone, who is set to turn 32 years of age, is going to be a free agent after this year, making $6 million this season. Defensive captain. Lions certainly have some depth at linebacker, but they love this guy. They want him around. As we like to call him, the flowing locks, the Gaines media poster boy. Alex Anzalone has been nothing but solid for this team. And when he was injured this year and out with that broken forearm, defense was not as good. That's a guy you've got to consider re-signing, keeping, and wanting around. You want veteran players. This is pretty much a young team. But Alex is a captain. Amik Robertson is another one. Arguably the Lions' best cornerback last year. And at the end of the year, he was a huge reason why the Lions won the division. Because week 18 against Minnesota, he was the star of the game, shutting down the all-world Justin Jefferson. Amik is only 28 years old, getting paid $4.6 million this year. Pretty cheap for a guy that was damn good this past year, mostly in the slot, but then showed at the end of the year you could move him to the outside. Lions don't exactly, yes, they've got DJ Reed. They love Terrion Arnold. They hope for the best for Ennis Rakestraw, but Amik Robertson is an important part of that defense. He's up after this year. Khalif Raymond is up after this year. Wide receiver, yes, 32 years of age, probably replaceable, but somebody that Dan Campbell and company really like. He's getting paid $5 million. Guess who else is up after this year? Jamison Williams. Now, again, the Lions can pick up his fifth-year option, pay him around $20 to $22 million next year. They're working on a long-term deal with Hutch, but Jamison Williams has a fifth-year option that they will pick up. All right, but his rookie deal ends, then you pick up the fifth-year option. He would stay, so he doesn't really count. Hutchinson also has that same option, but the Lions aren't going to do that. They're going to sign Hutchinson long-term. Levi Onwuzurike, we've talked about, 28 years of age on a one-year deal for $4 million. Roy Lopez on a one-year deal. Same with Tim Patrick. Marcus Davenport, Josh Paschal up after this year. That's a guy that Brad Holmes drafted. What if he has a monster year? Al-Qadim Muhammad, Avonte Maddox, Grant Stewart, players like that. Coyote Awashika, Craig Reynolds. Come on, Craig. Craig's always up. It seems like he's on a one-year deal all of the time. So that's basically the list. Those are a lot of very key parts for this team. And this is kind of why I made the reference a couple of times during free agency, that this team wasn't really ready to give long-term deals and multi-year deals to outside free agents. They want to keep their own. They want to keep guys around. So they've got some hard decisions to make. Guys like Alex Anzalone that have been here, DJ Reader, who the last 2 years, has been semi-important, Onwuzurike, others. They want to keep the band together. You're going to lose players. And maybe, just maybe, because the Lions have depth at linebacker, and maybe Derek Barnes takes a step up this year where he has to be on the field and playing alongside Jack Campbell, and maybe Anzalone's playing less snaps. If you got 4 up front, 2 linebackers, and 5 DBs, you can't play 12 guys. But this is a good problem that the Lions have, and that they have good players. And they have players that they want to retain, want to keep around. But this next offseason, after this, guys are also going to want to get paid. Kirby Joseph, Aiden Hutchinson are 2 massive contracts. You bring them back, that again, that shrinks the pool for the rest of the players and for guys you may end up signing on the outside. So keep that in mind. Before we talk to Dorian Mausi from Duke and Auburn and U of D Jesuit High School about today's Lions Pro Day, Tom Pelissero had a report earlier today from the NFL Network that the Lions are going to use one of their top 30 visits in Allen Park on Virginia safety Jonas Sanker. This is now the second safety that we know of that the Lions are going to host. Lions also reportedly met with him at the Combine. He is considered a 4th, maybe 5th round pick. But if you look at the Lions safety room right now, you've got Kirby Joseph. Of course, you got Brian Branch. And basically, you've got Lauren Strickland, who they really liked last year, was great in the preseason, made the team, and was on the roster. Maurice Norris is another one, but how good is he as he's bounced around from the practice squad to cut to being back? Lions lost Ife Melifonwu, maybe in the market for another safety. We know Sione Vaki played both safety and running back in college, but last year was basically a running back. But could the Lions be looking at a possible safety? Sanker is a guy that is very, very good, was all ACC. A lot of experience as a slot corner and safety, and is reportedly coming to Detroit to meet with the Lions. Also, NFL Network's Mike Garafolo reporting that Penn State safety Jalen Reed is also coming to Detroit. Dave Burkett from the Free Press said this is also considered a local visit too, so it might not be a top 30 because he went to Detroit King High School. But Jalen Reed is another guy, very, very physical, another safety. So Lions, look, last year they had a ton of cornerbacks that visited. Remember that? Their top 30 visits seemed like it was cornerback central, and they drafted 2. So now they're bringing in some safeties. Are they considering adding a third safety? What about Strickland? What about Norris? Keep your eye on that, as it is something we'll talk about more as we get closer to the draft. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk to Dorian Mausi from Auburn, linebacker and local kid that took part in today's Lions Local Pro Day. We will do that coming up next right here on a Tuesday, Locked On Lions. And you probably heard of Chewy. They really do have everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy. Whether you're shopping for food, treats, or even pet health care, Chewy makes it fast, easy, and affordable. With over 100,000 products from all your favorite brands, Chewy has everything your pet needs, from food and treats to toys, beds, and grooming. It's not just for dogs and cats. They've got supplies for birds, fish, reptiles, and small pets too. Chewy also makes it easy to manage your pet's health with prescriptions, telehealth vet visits, and even in-person vet clinics that roll out nationwide. Auto Ship is a game changer. You can set up automatic deliveries for food, treats, or any essentials so you never run out. You can easily change or even cancel at any time. Chewy is awesome. They got everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy. Right now, you could save $20 on your first order and get free shipping by going to chewy.com or clicking the link in the description. Save $20 on your first order with free shipping by clicking the link in the description. Minimum purchase required, new customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See site for complete details. But as promised, everybody joining us today here on Locked On Lions, a kid that I've known a very long time, was a former student of mine at U of D Jesuit High School, and now here he is, getting ready for the NFL draft. A linebacker at Auburn, started his career at Duke, and from U of D Jesuit High School, it is Dorian Mausi, who took part in today's Lions Pro Day. Dorian, what's up, bud?
What up, dog? How you doing? Thank you for having me. It's great to be on here on this side of it now.
Yeah, so many years ago, you were one of my students in the infamous 21st Century Media and Communications class at U of D High. You remember that? You were a sophomore, and there we were hanging out together.
I remember exactly where it was in the building, too. It was a cool class.
Room 126. Yes, thank you. We had a good time. And I'm just, first of all, I'm excited for you and proud of you, because you told me, we had many conversations, and you said, look, I think I can play D1. And a dream is to obviously play in the NFL, and you're getting that chance right now. Going back to high school, did you ever think you'd be? I mean, you're in the ACC, obviously in the SEC. Did you think you were going to get to that spot?
I did. I kind of thought, like, towards my back end of my college career, it kind of turned into an expectation for me. But while I was in college and everything, like, I did take the advice from the people that were there. I wasn't too focused on the NFL. I wasn't too focused on things of that nature. I was more focused on being where my feet were and kind of playing there and playing well there at the college level. So it was probably up until, honestly, close to this last year, I really started thinking about, like, okay, do I want to come out this year or not? Do I want to try and stay one more year? And I just made the decision to come out.
All right, so today, well, like I said, you played 3 years at Duke, then a year at Auburn. You got a chance to play in the SEC against Bama, and was that just unreal?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. It started off, like, as soon as I got on campus, you can tell the energy shift of everything there, in terms of the outside world. in terms of like kind of like how everybody views everything on the football side of things. But in terms of actual football program, I do want to give credit to Coach Elko my last 2 years at Duke, because that was a tight ran program. It was ran like a professional program. So
yeah.
And so it was no adjustment on that aspect of things. But when you got on the field and you got around the guys and everything, it was other types of adjustments you had to make coming from going to the SEC.
I don't want to talk more about you, but let's get to today. You had to be in Allen Park, right, at 7:30 this morning for Lions Pro Day. Take us through how that all got set up and what today was like for you.
Right. So start off at Auburn's Pro Day. You go to Auburn's Pro Day and everything, and when you're done, I got pulled to the side by a scout, and the scout told me, we're gonna be in contact and everything. I'm like, okay, cool. And I got a message probably about a day, 2 days later, invited me to the Lions Pro Day, and I had no clue what the Pro Day meant. I didn't know how I was gonna do Pro Day drills, actual drills, what type of workouts it's gonna be. And so when I got there today, it was great hospitality by the Detroit Lions. I'm not gonna lie. We got there, typical weigh-ins and treatment. Making sure all good, all healthy before we step on the field. And it was just you got to have one-on-one time, like in a small group setting with the linebacker coach there, and he was awesome. He was completely awesome. And we went through drills. We went through the drills that he takes his guys through. He wants to see us move on the field. It is different seeing somebody on the actual film versus in person for yourself. And also, while we were there, we went through install meetings. So we taught us some of the defense and tested our recall and how well we can remember the defense, things of that nature.
Did you get a chance at all to meet up with or talk to Dan Campbell, Kelvin Shepard? Were they all there? Brad Holmes, the GM, were they all there?
Yeah, everybody was there. They had the whole entire staff there. They're really hands-on. When I got done with the field, I did get a chance to talk to Coach Dan Campbell. He came over there, talked to us. I actually saw him getting it in with some of the tight ends on the drill. I said, yeah, it's what they preach over there at the Lions is real. It's not a facade at all. Everybody's bought in, everybody's poured in, and the mentality over there is the real deal.
So you're there at 7:30. I'm assuming they fed you. Did you eat breakfast and lunch? I mean, this is a full day, right?
It's a completely full day. Before we got into meeting everybody, they made sure we're fed. They had the food out there for us. It was a big buffet of food for us for breakfast, and we got done with everything. It was a big buffet of food again for lunch. And while you're there, you're seeing all the guys you kind of grew up with playing football, and it's a kind of a surreal moment to see like how all roads kind of met near the same point for everybody, and how the guys you're growing up with, the guys you played little league football with, some of the guys you made in high school who are some of the best in the state, and now we're all here at this Lions local day together. It was a great day. That's
awesome. Dorian Mausi with us, former Auburn linebacker, and of course the pride of a U of D Jesuit High, a fellow Cub along with me, and I had 3 great years there. And Dorian, I got to teach my last year there in 2018 and 19. You mentioned before about some of the guys. I believe Josiah Stewart was there from Michigan and some others, right? Run through some of the names of some of the guys you got a chance to be around today.
Yeah, so I was around Makari Page, Cornell Wheeler, Jordan Turner, Kobe King, Jay Reed. He was there on his 30 visit. Who else? Malik Carr, Roger Hurd. Like there's a lot of guys.
And these are guys you all know. Huh? That's awesome. What made it? What separates the Lions from other teams? I know you've had some conversations with some other teams and stuff, but like you mentioned before about going through install, and I know you can't tell us all their secrets and what the defense is going to look like, but what do you get a sense of how the Lions, what they feel like just being around them?
So first thing I want to say, and something I learned in college football, is that culture matters. Culture matters 100%. And it's something that's lost a little bit in terms of some teams or some college teams even. And that's the thing, that's the part that's missing. And over there, it is not missing. You can tell because how every coach speaks to you. You speaking to different coaches throughout the day, and how they're all preaching the same message in a sense. And so one thing that I took away was that you come here, you get an opportunity to play for the Lions. You're not there for no reason. Like you always have a chance to show who you are. You always have a chance to play if you just go out there and do what you're supposed to do and make plays. Like there's no shortage. They're not just gonna have you out there just wasting your time, everything. Like no, like everything you do is a job interview over here, and everybody has a shot to do it. You know, you see how they rank up guys in-house and in the staff and everything, from the linebackers coach. Now he's the DC. We got a new linebackers coach now. And so it's just what they preach in terms of like next man up mentality, or like being able to work and your work will be rewarded. If you're good enough, then that's true. That's not a facade at all.
I love that. How do you think you did? To be honest, I mean,
Mm.
you're not in pads, right? Are you just in
No.
shells and
Yeah,
shorts?
yeah. So we're just doing some movement drills. So movement drills, like the coach was having me. It was the coach was taking me through the bags. He took us through the bags, like some pass drop drills. He wanted to see how fluid our hips were, things of that nature. But overall, I feel like I did pretty good today. I feel like I went out there and showed that I can move, and so which is what I want to get to. Which is why I want to see from them today.
You were not invited, unfortunately, to the combine,
Mm-mm.
but you're ready. I mean, you're working
Right.
out. What's the
Yeah.
regimen like to try to get drafted?
So after pro day, you're kind of on your own now. And so it's up to you to still have the discipline regimen of what you want to do. So I wake up in the morning. I have my morning routine, everything, right what I'm grateful for, right what my future, so it's inevitable. And the first thing I do, I'll go to, like, if I'm down in Auburn, I'll go to the facility, go eat some food, and then I'm in the building all day long. So whether I'm doing stretching and mobility before I work out, whether it's upper body day or lower body day in the weight room, you got to really start focusing on conditioning now too, because conditioning for like the combine and pro day is completely different from conditioning for actual football. And so everything now is football. Ain't no more Under Olympics, no more you out there trying to play football. Oh, that's something the Lions said too. Like we want football players. Like all the other stuff and everything, like it's all cool and all. It can help you, but they want to see you on the field. They want to see a football player and how football players play. And so so right now that's what I'm doing throughout the day. Eating right, just making sure I'm ready for when my name gets called and I got a report, I can go be at the best, be at my peak performance.
At Duke, they moved you around a little bit. I know last year you were mostly inside at Auburn playing linebacker, but where do you feel is your best spot in terms of where you can help a team?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I play football. Like I play football. You tell me what to do, I'm gonna go do it. I know something I do feel comfortable with. I'm a green dot guy. I'm a leader of men. And so something I feel ultimately comfortable with is like being able to be the guy on the field who's making the calls. Because when I speak, I want to speak deep, I want to speak confidence into my defense. You know what I'm saying? Like there needs to be intensity that needs to stay on the field, and that's me. Like there's no other way around it. Like this soft football, however football is now, like there's an intensity that needs to be on the field, and there's a character, and somebody needs to be that character in the middle of the field, and I feel like that's me, regardless where they put me on the field. Whether it's outside linebacker, inside linebacker, it doesn't matter. You have to learn all positions. You have to be able to play all spots. Availability is the best ability. So learn and play football.
I love it, man. I am so proud of you. You've come a long way. Sophomore year, you did not like getting in front of the class, and now you've got it naturally down. Mm-hmm. Tell me about college. And was there a player, is there somebody that you went up against in your 4 or 5 years there that you just went, oh my God, this is the best player I've ever played against? I stumped you.
Best player played again.
Yeah.
I'll say, I'll give my boy. So at Duke, the defensive line in front of me at Duke, like Dwayne Carter, like he made plays, and the way he led around the facility and the way he carried himself to be a captain for us at Duke for 3 years, like I really like. He was like, I looked up to Dwayne in terms of like, okay, that's how you lead. That's how you lead, man. This is how you carry yourself around the facility. This is how you carry yourself on and off the field. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. But somebody who I thought was really good, and he was good since we stepped on campus at day one. He's a starting center for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now, is Graham Barton. He was our center, guard, whatever we wanted him to be, a tackle at Duke University. And he's a good football player. Like going against him every day for 3 years, 4 years straight, like it was awesome.
You played in the SEC after the ACC for 1 year at Auburn. Mm-hmm. Is it true that the SEC is just faster? Did you feel it?
Something that I would say was the biggest thing when I noticed immediately was the depth of the players and the depth of how good the players are. So like in the ACC, I couldn't talk about Duke specifically. At Duke, we had great first string guys, a few second string guys. Over here at Auburn, playing the SEC, first string, second string, third string. Like, and if you go out there and you don't perform, your spot is getting taken, and it's going to be taken forever. Like, because the next guy up, he is there. Like, the mentality of the freshman coming in, they literally come in with the mindset like, I'm getting out of here in 3 years. I'm going to the NFL. That's their mindset, and I love it. And so every day at practice is like, it's true competition. It is true competition. Like, your spot is not settled. You can't, like, I'm there I'm being completely honest, week 8 of the season, week 9 of the season, I'm over here lackadaisical going like on a tackle or on a finish or something like that. And my coach is like going crazy. And he's like, yeah, like, if like you can get your spot taken just as fast too, because at my position at Auburn, it was 4 or 5 draft eligible linebackers who are really good. And so every day going out there, I feel like that's the part that's prepared me for the league, because coming into the transfer portal, there's a couple different places I can go. But if I'm the person who I say I am, and I'm an NFL linebacker, I'm going to go and I'm going to compete. And I don't want some place where it's all given to me. And so I'm going to compete against the best. I'm going to compete where there's other senior linebackers and then go win. You know what I'm saying? Go win, go earn a starting spot. And then now I have that chip on your shoulder all season, like, okay, I've earned this. And these guys want my spot. These guys are going to try to take my spot any chance it is. So I have to go out and keep performing. So it forces you to have an edge and have something different about yourself.
Yeah.
Every single day. Like, it's not a once in a time thing where you have your spot is there. No, it's going to be taken.
All right, final thing. How did you leave it with the Lions? Do you have your agent call and say, hey, Dorian loved it, please draft him? We'll sign as a free agent? Like, obviously you'd love to be here, but how'd you leave it with them today?
Wait, could you ask the question? Do
you have your agent? Like, do you have an agent that calls now and tells Brad Holmes, hey, Dorian had a great time today, he wants to be a Lion? Like, what kind of advice are you getting, and how'd you say goodbye, I guess, to them today?
So today was the day for them really to get to feel who you are. So, for example, if I'm a guy, like, my character, it fits with the Lions. So, but if I was a guy who my character didn't really fit with them, and you want to go there and be authentically yourselves, because the goal is to go somewhere where you can be yourself and play. Because this is where you have to work. This is where you have to be for the next 3-4 years of life. Hopefully, that's what you want to do. 3-4 until you want to be here for your career. So you want to go somewhere that fits. And you want to be yourself. And so my agent, they're gonna talk. They're gonna talk amongst each other. I just know, for me, like, I honestly don't know. I just know I need to make my agent's life easier by handling what I need to do on the field, so they can handle everything off the field with ease.
Dorian, it's great to see you, bud. I'm proud of you. I'm wishing you the best of luck. We'll stay in touch for sure, and hopefully that dream comes true in a couple of weeks. You get your name called, and we'll be all over it. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Dorian Mausi joining us, the former U of D Jesuit Cub and Duke and Auburn linebacker. That was a lot of fun. We'll talk about it in a second. And, of course, Locked On Lions today brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. NBA playoffs are almost here, and FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on the action. Right now, when you join FanDuel and place your first $5 bet, you'll get $250 in bonus bets if your bet wins. All right? You love how FanDuel makes betting so easy. Whether it's picking your favorite team or diving into player props, now that the Pistons are in the playoffs, folks, get in on the action at FanDuel and have more fun with it. From three-pointers to steals to assists, FanDuel has so many ways to bet your favorite player props. Plus, after the game tips off, you can even combine live prop bets into a same-game parlay for a chance to win big. Don't miss out. Head to FanDuel.com and claim your $250 in bonus bets today. I'm wrapping up Locked On Lions for this Tuesday. Thanks to Dorian Mausi for being with us. That kid has just matured. He's an awesome, awesome young man. 4 years at Duke, last year at Auburn. And I love what he was saying today about working with Sean Deion Hamilton, the new Lions linebackers coach. And now he just kind of sits around and waits. He was at the Hula Bowl, so he's played in some postseason stuff, wasn't invited to the combine. But this is a kid that had a really good career, was all ACC 1 year at Duke as a linebacker. Played last year as a starter for Auburn. So it went from the ACC to the SEC. And like he said, culture matters, and he's a culture guy. He wants to come in and compete and get an opportunity. So you root for a young local kid like that. I've known Dorian a long time, and super, super good kid, and happy for him. I'm glad he could give us a little insight into what went on today at Lions Local Pro Day down in Allen Park. We are back again with a Wednesday edition tomorrow, right here on Locked On Lions. Thanks, everybody, for making us your first listen.